Alright, in this video I wanted to talk really quick about the Void Awakening form. I had seen that some people kind of claimed that it was not very good. And in reading the info subs, I thought, okay, it had a cool mechanic in that it actually gave the pet and guest Ellie comp to damage. And so, if you remember, the pet and guest both have the barriers as well as the mana and SP regen. And so, I thought, maybe it would be worth the try. I bought a set of 10 gift boxes, got lucky and got an ultra rare. So I went ahead and grabbed. I've since grabbed the shield as well. I grabbed the entire set. I picked up both the SP and MP versions of the pets. And I've only picked up one guest. The pet and the guest can be changed in the item upgrader between the SP and MP versions. In playing with the guest, I have found, in my opinion, probably the SP version of it is more useful. I think if I wanted to use an MP heal on my guest, I think Essence of Carnage would be more useful. But the reason for I think the video as a whole is I didn't realize that it had a skill, and there's several full set bonuses here. So I wanted to talk about the armor as a whole, and that I really think if you have the full set, it might, you have the extra gift boxes, it might be worth getting. The armor on its own, probably not. But if you're going to use the entire thing, I think it's worth using. First of all, the armor's neutral lean. That's probably a huge turnoff to a lot of people. But this is a free skill. It locks your attacks to fire, and you get Ellie comp. And the Ellie comp in this example, it's not the full Ellie comp because ice is not. I think the reason is the ice is not its weakest element. But it gets, basically you get 167.9, so we'll call it 168% more damage. So there are full offensive armors, like Hexbound has a cheap skill that gets Ellie comp plus all the additional damage because it inflicts burn on itself. There's armors out there, Akroloths, they're going to out damage this thing by a lot. It's just the way it is. But one thing that's unique with this is it's giving your pet and your guest the exact same Ellie comp. And it works both in this mode, the barrier mode, as well as in this mode here. And it's just a full set bonus. It's free. So you're not having to expend a lot of resources. Okay? So that's pretty nice. So I wanted to kind of showcase. So let's do this. So I have both. Let's actually switch this guy to this here. Alright, so I got them both on heal mode. So I want to see with just one round what kind of barriers we have here. So 131, 163. So both of them are in the hundreds. 264 now, 248. Alright. So let's start over here. So this time I'm going to use the form. So this time let's do this. This may skew the results. So we've got 336 and 274 this time. Alright, as you can see, the barriers are pretty significantly increased while in this armor. And then the efficiency, if you notice, are not bad either. So using this combination is, you can be quite defensive. And you can do things like, if you wanted just to build your barriers real quick, you can inflict a choke, and then, or panics, and then just see what kind of barriers you get. You can clever disguise spam and get some barriers. As you can see, I've got this shield, so I'm going to have a hit point barrier, a mana barrier, a chi shield, and so you're going to have all these barriers. So, like I said, as you can see, it starts to become, it builds really quick. Having this pet, for those that own the Azame Golem with the chi shield misc, basically it's made that setup, I think, not worth owning anymore for those that do use it. Alright, so you have that. You could actually, if you wanted to, you could actually have one doing a chi shield while the other's healing your SP. Alright, so the next thing I wanted to kind of show is when you enable this. So here, I'm going to show you. Let's just use this as kind of the standard damage here. Alright. So we have 117 and 100. Alright, we have 91 and 137. So that gives you a decent baseline there. But what about imbues? So I've imbued choke here, and this is going to increase in potency based on damage. So if I toggle this on, well, I've basically it says it's fire. So what the question I had was, is this going to, oh, I accidentally clicked. I have to redo that. So is this going to have the 168% more damage? So in other words, is my imbues going to be strengthened in this armor? So earlier it was around 100 per hit. So that was 122, 114 there. It was off, right? So let's turn it on. All right, let's redo this guy. So it was 122, 114. Let's see if we notice an uptick in actual damage here. 165 to 210. So in other words, yes, this locks your attacks to fire, but it's giving you a 167% damage boost. So your imbues are actually strengthened in this armor. Okay. All right. So now what I'd like to do is let's go ahead and switch over to heal mode. And then use some combinations here. You know what? Let's just do this here. So if you wanted a clever disguise spam, so the guest is actually, I'll have to change this guy. The guest is actually costing SP, but it's going to out heal the cost in this armor. And there's your MP there. And then I'll kind of switch to this guy here. So we went from 654 to 841. So, that's a pretty good heal there. By basically using something like Una Poca and giving yourself that extra charisma. And Optico. So now we have a little bit better setup for your pet. We can get some hypercrit going. So those baseline hits, 64, 71, stuff like that, aren't the greatest in the world. So together you have some pretty decent, if you use everything in conjunction, you have some pretty decent SP heals here. Here, let me drain my SP a little bit. So just this one round, so we go from 111 to 507. I mean, that's not bad. Probably a little bit better way to do this if you want to focus on actually increasing your healing is finding ways to increase your damage. So what that would mean, maybe something like this and Warpower Bat Swarm using the Optico. And then just let Warpower Bat Swarm bug it out, and then you'll see a little bit better heals here. See? So that was close to 700 there. This setup's not going to be better than using Dark Invader. I've already showcased that. But not everybody has Dark Invader. So some people skipped out on it. And so this is just an item if you have the extra golden gift box for an ultra rare. And the thing about this setup is you can actually play defense by giving yourself barriers, and then the offense is not actually bad. So let's say you wanted to, there's certain things you can do. Maybe you wanted to go bag of mixed nuts and this guy, and then maybe they'll land a hit with Pell Skull Defender here. Maybe I wanted to do the Pell Skull Helm, and then so I've got some damage enhancements here. And then you could also equip this weapon here because it's going to be locked to fire. And then you can cast one time killers. So this is going to end up being boosted pretty good. So we've got 9681 down to 6949. So as you can see, even though this is a neutral armor, you're doing some pretty good damage. It's not going to be better than Bloodzerker. It's not going to be better than a Hexbound or Acroloths and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it isn't about the armor's damage by itself. It's about the total capability of the set. And then of course you want to use Prime Chaos Orb to change your element here. As you can see, I had 1700 damage versus 100% resistance here by doing time killers, Masamune. This setup is paying for the SP cost of Masamune. Then use 2 time killers and it'll boost your lucky strike rate up to pretty crazy levels there. Again, this combination, I've got full SP, and then so we've got Masamune's SP cost, and I'm just basically getting it back. So basically, you just can sit here for free. The Ellie comped damage. You're basically Ellie comping your armor and your pet and your guest, and then you can sort of just regen everything. And then again, if you wanted to go this route, I don't think the guest is worth having the MP version, personally speaking. Again, I think the better idea is to have summon Essence of Carnage, and then you can maybe do Infinita Staff, and then everything's going to be Ellie comped here. You could also do Summon Ramsey, and I didn't even do like what Lust Pet would do with Summon Ramsey. Would greatly boost this damage if you wanted to use Infinita Staff or Alchemical Unity, stuff like that. And because it's Ellie locked, you can use a weapon like Prime Orb's Kneeboard, and then it should stay fire. Let's see. Yeah. So that was 852 MP heal. 777 MP heal. $749. So as you can see, there's some pretty good heals. That's going to outperform the guest's heal. That's why I think on the Void Skull, that's why I really feel like it's just better to use Essence of Carnage instead of that this guy on the MP version. And then you, of course, you have more stacks here. You're going to be able to let's see what I can get away with here. You know, some of your typical things here. So I'm gonna have MP heal from Infinita plus the guest, and then the damage boosters and stuff, all while this guy is healing my SP. And I can use this for quick cast. I could use this for, you know, Poké. Maybe I want to stack Geo Castellum or whatever. So let's see what kind of damage I can do here. See if I can do all 4405 and see what kind of heal it is. I don't know what's going to happen here. That was rather weak. Let's see. $1843 heal there. So I mean, going this route's going to be better for it. And then of course you could also, let's see here. Basically this armor is, I feel like it's an offensive Beastmaster armor, but not a full offensive lean because of the Ellie comp and then what it's able to do with the pet and the sets here. So I'm going to see how fast I can heal my MP here. Because the armor has some potential to do some really good damage, even though it's neutral because of the Ellie comp, which is free, and then the full set bonus for the pet and the guest, and then it also has a full set bonus on the shield, which is very minor. It's not. I picked up the shield, but the shield is actually a rare, so I went ahead and just grabbed it just because it has a skill. Normal cost skill. I think the biggest thing is it just gives you basically you have 8.9% chance while this is off to do fear, but if it inflicts, it's 100% chance of not acting. Or if this is on, it does paralyze, and the paralyze is actually increased. I think it maxes at just under 30% if this resistance is 200% fire, and plus the Ellie comp that you're getting. So we go from 20 MP. Let's see what happens. Full heal. If you combine the Summon Essence of Carnage and the Infinita Staff and the damage it did, it basically went from 20 to basically full heal there. So as you can see, you're able to do quite a bit of damage from the armor because of all the stacks. It's not going to be the best in the world. It's not going to be hexbound, but that's fine because you're sacrificing damage from the neutral lean and you're gaining the full set bonus from these guys. And like I said, you could play defense with one. So here I do this, and then I've got a chi shield, and then I'm healing my SP. So my chi shield here, they attack me and then they hit my SP, but then I'm just gaining it right back here. So there's some neat little combinations and stuff with the total. The animation's super fast. And then because you're able to heal your SP, you can do imbues. Like if I wanted more damage here, I could just do that. It increases my damage. And then of course, the use of Optico for the pet lucky strikes. You're going to be able to increase your heals there. And again, this probably overall is not going to be as powerful as what the Elevons will do with Dark Invader and using the Bat Swarm bug. But I think overall, so let's see, this bugs out to 192, and then of course you're going to have the increased heals. So I think overall the armor, I think it's worth having. I think it's pretty nice art. The total stack I think is pretty nice. You can basically cast like Mandate and get Choke, and then you can live in the armor from there. To be honest with you, I didn't even show you with Tropo Shield some of the damage it can do, which will also increase the damage here. So when you use Tropo Shield, you can cast Mandate, which is Earth. Tropo Shield will inflict igniting enhanced fire damage, which is going to increase this guy here. As you can see, that was 800 and something SP heal. The Ellie comped extra damage plus the Tropo Shield combined there. You can do Runic Binding. Again, this will do some decent damage. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually see if I can get some pretty good. Let's do Mandate again. Trigger the shield. See if I can get some decent MP heal. So that was almost 1,000 MP heal by itself there. And then maybe I'll do Runic Binding, and again trigger the shield, bug out the Elevon, and then almost 800 MP heal, almost basically paying back the Runic Binding. Let's get it to do it again. So from 636 to 2406 that time. So as you can see, I think it's worth buying both the MP and SP pet. Probably just worth buying the SP version, but you can change it over to MP and the item upgrader, because I sort of feel like the Essence of Carnage is kind of a better item there. Another thing, because you're able to regenerate SP so much, is I'll show one more thing, or a couple more things. So again, if you're using Optico, that's what I'm going to do here. If you just want to play more defense, and let's say you don't want to use Mandate or some other So then you can always just go this route. It's 490 SP. You're going to inflict your blind. That's a lot of SP, but especially if you're able to get some lucky strikes with this on your pet here. Just like that. I mean, it's basically replenishing enough where you could probably spam this guy quite a bit. As you can see, I'm able to spam it for the most part. And then again, you can always go this route. I already showed the Infinita, but what about Alchemical Unity? So the setup is actually enhancing your pets and guests, but you're also let's see, I can't really tell what. Alright. And of course you can do your blind there. Blind just increases. So you can actually play defense. You can do a combination of barriers, regenerate your SP and stuff, and you just build your blind. You can Geocastellum stack. You can cast Mandate while Tropo Shield triggers, and you heal back your MP with this guy. I mean, there's a lot of little things you can do with this armor. You can get good damage, not the best. Increase your barriers or your resource heal loops, all just from the one armor. Very good armor, I think. Cool art, fast animation, and then I'll just end it just showing the shield. This is the least. The shield is kind of the least favorite thing here. All right, let's see here. Alright, so you basically get the full set bonus with the shield, which it'll inflict paralyze potentially, and I don't know if I'll be able to get it to inflict, but yeah, I've got it to inflict that time. So as you can see, a lot of little things to the armor, and because it has Compt damage, it increases your imbues, it increases your weapons that have 0 proc with effects, and then plus you're just getting your resource heals and your defense barriers all in one setup. Extremely good armor, only 60% to 3 elements, 90% the other 3, so it's really, really nice. I recommend. I think it's underrated, but there you have it.